This study, by CDDEP researchers and collaborators, is the first long-term look at trends in antibiotic resistance in India. It tracks antibiotic resistance rates for the most serious infections, bloodstream infections, from a large private laboratory network with sites across India over 7 years, from 2008 through 2014. Bacteria from bloodstream infections were cultured, identified, and tested for antibiotic antimicrobial susceptibility at the SRL laboratories, a network with 5,700 sites in private hospitals, diagnostic laboratories, and home collection agencies spread across 26 of the 29 states and 2 of the 7 union territories in India. Data were retrieved electronically from 7 years' worth of patient reports, and resistance rates were calculated for each major pathogen for each year as the proportion of isolates resistant to the antibiotics against which they were tested. Out of 135,000 blood cultures, pathogens were identified from about 18,000. Salmonella were the most frequently isolated organisms, followed by E. coli and Klebsiella. These 10 pathogen groups together made up about 90% of all those identified. The most striking and alarming finding was the high and increasing rate of carbapenem-resistant E. coli. 8% were resistant in 2011, increasing to 12% in 2014. No other countries from which surveillance data are available have rates above 10%. Also striking is that roughly 95% of Salmonella typhi were resistant to nalidixic acid, while resistance to other older antibiotics such as ampicillin and cotrimoxazole decreased over time. These findings can also be seen in Salmonella paratyphi. Resistance to colistin, one of the few last resort antibiotics, was detected as early as 2012 among all the important gram-negative bacteria, including E. coli, Klebsiella pneumonia, and Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Resistance reached 3% for Klebsiella and E. coli in 2014. Although these rates are low, any resistance to colistin leaves few options for these serious infections. Among gram-positive bacteria, 3% of Staphylococcus aureus isolates were resistant to linezolid, another last resort drug. These results confirm that antimicrobial stewardship programs in India are in need of improvement, and the introduction of new antibiotics is most welcome.